My dear friends, my brothers and sisters, everybody celebrates what you're good at. But very few people tell you to look carefully at the places where you're weak, the places you're afraid to touch, the parts of yourself you're ashamed of. Yet it's in those places where true growth begins. True change doesn't come from standing on your strength alone. True change comes when you dare to face your weaknesses with honesty and courage. My name is Muniba Mazari, and I am a motivational speaker. If you are new at my channel, subscribe and start a new journey with me. It's easier to wear a mask of strength and pretend everything is perfect. But deep inside, we all know there are parts of us struggling. Accepting your weakness isn't about announcing it to the world. It's about being honest with yourself. It's about standing in front of the mirror and saying, yes, there are things I need to work on. That moment of honesty isn't weakness. It's the beginning of real strength. So many people spend their lives running from their weaknesses. They hide behind achievements, behind distractions, behind loud laughter. They believe that if they don't talk about their weaknesses, they don't exist. But pain ignored doesn't heal. Problems avoided don't disappear. They grow quietly, stealing your peace from the inside. Strength isn't pretending you have no weaknesses. Strength is having the courage to look at them and say, I will not let this define me. The world often teaches us to show only our best sides. Social media teaches us to post only our happiest moments. Society celebrates confidence and success, but forgets to talk about the silent battles people are fighting within themselves. But real confidence isn't built by ignoring your struggles. Real confidence is built when you accept where you're weak and still choose to move forward. It's built when you fall, you fail, you break, but you decide to rise again every single time. Imagine a house with a cracked wall. You can hide the crack with beautiful paint, with expensive wallpaper. For a while, the wall will look perfect. But the crack is still there, growing underneath, weakening the whole structure. One day, the wall will collapse, not because of what was seen, but because of what was ignored. Our weaknesses are the cracks we must repair, not cover up. When we accept them, the stronger we become. Sometimes people think accepting weakness will make them small in the eyes of others. They fear being judged, being misunderstood. But the truth is, the ones who truly love you respect you more when you're real. And even if no one else sees your silent journey of improvement, know that you're not doing it for anyone else. You're doing it for yourself to grow, to heal, to become the person you were always meant to be. There's no shame in having weaknesses. Every human being has them. Even the strongest heroes we admire, the role models we look up to, had their own private battles. What made them great wasn't that they had no flaws, but that they had the courage to face them. What made them inspiring was that they didn't let their weaknesses stop them. They used their weakness as a reason to fight harder, to climb higher. When you accept your weakness, you take back your power. You stop living in fear of being exposed or judged. You stop wasting energy trying to be perfect. Instead, you start investing that energy in becoming better, little by little, every day. That's how transformation happens, not overnight, not magically, but through honest self-awareness and steady work. You're not weak because you have flaws. You're strong because you dare to acknowledge them. You're powerful because you choose growth over pride. And every step you take toward improvement, no matter how small, is a victory. Every day you choose to face yourself with honesty is a day you're building a strong foundation for your dreams. It all begins with standing tall and saying, this is where I am, but it's not where I'll stay. And that decision, that brave, quiet decision, is the real definition of strength. Weakness isn't something to be ashamed of. It's not a stain on your character. It's not a reason to hide your face or doubt your worth. Weakness is a teacher, a silent, powerful teacher that comes into your life to guide you toward your highest potential. But only if you're willing to listen. Only if you stop seeing it as a punishment and start seeing it as a lesson. When you were a child, you learned by falling down. You learned by making mistakes. You learned by trying and failing and trying again. Nobody scolded you for falling when you first tried to walk. Nobody laughed at you when you couldn't hold a pencil properly. Weakness was seen for what it truly is, a natural part of learning. Somewhere along the way, as we grow up, we forget that. We start believing that weakness means we're not good enough. We start fearing it. We start hiding it. We start fearing it. We start hiding it. But the truth is, weakness isn't your enemy, it's your guide. It's pointing you toward the parts of yourself that need nurturing. It's showing you where you have the opportunity to grow, to evolve, to become better than you were yesterday. If you're willing to see weakness not as a shameful secret, but as a doorway to strength. Your whole life will change. Think about a tree growing tall and strong. Before it reaches for the sky, it must first develop deep, steady roots. It must grow down before it can grow up. That moment when the seed is buried in darkness, when it struggles to break through the soil, that's the moment that makes all the difference. Without that struggle, there will be no strength. Without that hidden fight, there will be no towering tree. In the same way, your weaknesses aren't holding you back. They're the soil from which your strength will grow. Most people try to hide their weaknesses because they're afraid of judgment. They think that if they admit they're struggling, they'll lose respect. But the opposite is true. The people who inspire us most aren't the ones who pretend to be perfect. They're the ones who show us that it's okay to be human, it's okay to struggle, and it's powerful to keep going anyway. Weakness teaches you humility. It teaches you compassion. It teaches you patience, not just with yourself, but with others too. When you know how hard it is to face your own struggles, you naturally become kinder to others facing theirs. More understanding, more resilient, more real. When you stop running from your weaknesses and start learning from them, you unlock a new level of strength inside you. You realize that strength isn't loud. It's not arrogant. It doesn't need to prove itself. True strength is quiet. It's built in silent battles. It's earned in the moments when no one is watching, when you choose to rise instead of giving up, when you choose to learn instead of quit. If life was easy, if everything came naturally, there would be no growth, no depth, no greatness. It's the climb that makes the view from the top so beautiful. It's the struggle that makes success so meaningful. And it's the weakness that makes the strength so real. So the next time you notice a weakness inside you, don't run from it. Don't cover it up with false smiles or hollow words. Stand with it. Sit with it. Listen to what it's trying to teach you. Trust that it's not here to break you, it's here to build you. Embrace the lesson, grow through it, and become the person who's not just strong on the outside, but unshakable on the inside. Growth doesn't happen by chance, it happens by choice. It happens when you decide to stand face to face with the areas in your life that feel uncomfortable, that feel broken, that feel weak. It happens when you stop wishing for things to magically get better and start working on making them better. Growth is never accidental. It demands your effort, your honesty, and your commitment to keep moving even when it hurts. Many people dream of becoming stronger, wiser, and more successful, but they're not willing to do the deep, uncomfortable work it requires. They hope time alone will heal their weaknesses. But time only passes it, doesn't fix what you refuse to face. Only intentional effort can turn weakness into strength. Only deliberate action can transform the areas where you struggle into areas where you shine. When you know you're weak in something, you have two choices. You can either accept it and settle, or you can accept it and act. The first choice leads to regret. The world around you might pressure you to appear perfect, but growth isn't about appearances. Growth is about the work you do in the unseen hours. It's about the practice, the persistence, and the patience you invest when nobody is clapping, when no one is watching. Effort isn't always loud. Sometimes it's as simple as making a different choice today than you did yesterday. Sometimes it's choosing to speak up when your weakness is fear. Sometimes it's choosing to stay silent when your weakness is anger. Effort looks different for everyone, but the common thread is this: it always demands stepping outside of comfort. It always demands doing what feels difficult but necessary. There will be days when working on your weaknesses feels exhausting. There will be moments when you question if it's even worth it. And those are the moments that define your path. Anyone can work hard when motivation is high. Real growth happens when you keep going, even when the excitement fades, when you do the work. Not because you feel like it, but because you know it's what you need. Sometimes the biggest enemy of growth isn't failure, but comfort. Comfort whispers that you're fine the way you are. Comfort convinces you that you don't need to change. Your weaknesses aren't a big deal. But deep inside, a voice knows better. Growth requires you to be uncomfortable for a season so you can be strong for a lifetime. It demands the humility to say, I'm not there yet, but I'm willing to work for it. Effort and growth are inseparable. No amount of wishing, hoping, or dreaming can replace the power of consistent action. You don't wake up stronger one day because you hope for it. You become stronger because you work for it day after day, choice after choice. And in the process, something incredible happens. You stop seeing your weaknesses as heavy burdens and start seeing them as invitations. Invitations to become better, wiser, kinder, stronger. Every time you make the effort to improve yourself, you're planting seeds for a future that's stronger than your present. Every time you choose growth over comfort, you're building a foundation that nothing and no one can shake. It may take time, but every step, every stumble, every small victory will shape you into someone who's not defined by their weakness, but by their will to rise above it. Nobody can climb your mountain for you. People can encourage you, they can guide you, they can even hold your hand for a while, but the real work, the real transformation, that's something only you can do. The journey of improving your weaknesses is personal. It's yours alone. And that's where your true power lies. It's easy to blame others for where we're weak. It's easy to say, if they had supported me, I would have been stronger, or if life had been easier, I would have been better. But the truth is, even if the world was perfect, the work of becoming better would still be yours. No one else can look inside your heart and fix what's broken. No one else can build the strength your soul needs. That's your responsibility. And accepting that truth is the first step toward real growth. There's a strange freedom that comes with this understanding, because once you stop expecting others to rescue you, you realize that you hold the key to your own progress. You're not powerless. You're simply standing at the starting line of your own journey. And every step you take, even the smallest one, belongs to you. It's your victory. It's your story. Improving your weakness isn't about proving something to the world. It's not about showing others that you're better. It's about proving something to yourself. It's about honoring the person you're becoming. The process will be hard. Some days it'll feel lonely. Some days you'll wonder if anyone even notices your effort. But the most important person who needs to notice is you. Because when you begin to grow, the first change happens inside. Before anyone else sees the progress, you'll feel it in the way you think, in the way you handle challenges, in the way you start believing in yourself again. Improvement is an inside-out journey. The world sees the results later, but you live the transformation first. Waiting for someone to come and fix you will only keep you stuck. Waiting for someone else to make your life easier will only delay your growth. Strength isn't handed to you, it's built inside you. And it's built when you choose to take responsibility for your own weaknesses. Not with shame, not with fear, but with courage. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you never ask for help. It means you understand that help can support you. But it cannot replace your own effort. Mentors can guide you. Friends can inspire you. Books can inspire you. But you have to walk the path. You have to wake up every day and choose growth. You have to look at your weaknesses without running away. And you have to decide that no matter how hard it gets, you will not give up on yourself. This journey isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's about standing up for yourself when it feels easier to sit down and accept defeat. You're not weak because you struggle. You're strong because you're willing to face your struggles. Every moment you spend working on your weaknesses, you're rewriting your story. You're proving that you're not defined by what's hard for you. You're defined by how fiercely you're willing to grow through it. Own your journey. Own your effort. Own your future. Because the most beautiful success stories are written by those who chose to pick up the pen themselves, even when their hands were trembling, even when the ink was messy, even when the world said it was impossible. And one day, when you look back, you'll be proud not because someone saved you, but because you saved yourself. Growth isn't something that happens overnight. It's a slow and steady process that demands time, effort, and above all, patience. But real, lasting growth is never rushed. It's built slowly, through countless small steps that often go unnoticed by others. Patience is the silent strength behind every powerful transformation. When you focus on your weaknesses, there will be moments when you feel like nothing is changing. You'll work hard, and sometimes you'll still stumble. You'll give your best, and sometimes you'll still feel behind. But these aren't signs of failure, they're signs that you're human. Improvement is messy. Progress isn't a straight line. Some days you'll move forward, some days you'll stand still, and some days you'll feel like you're going backward. And that's okay. The real question isn't how fast you're changing. The real question is whether you're willing to stay committed, even when it feels slow, even when it feels heavy, even when it feels invisible. Most people give up not because they cannot grow, but because they expect it to happen faster than it does. They lose patience with the process. They lose patience with themselves. But patience isn't about waiting and doing nothing. It's about trusting the work you're doing, even when the results aren't immediately visible. Think about how a tree grows. When you plant a seed, you don't see the roots immediately. You water the soil, you care for it, you protect it, even when you see nothing happening on the surface. And one day, after days and months of quiet effort, growth works the same way. Most of the real progress happens deep inside, long before the outside world can see it. There will be days when you feel tired of trying, days when your weaknesses feel heavier than your strength, days when you doubt whether all your hard work is making any difference at all. But those are the most important days. Those are the days when patience becomes your biggest weapon. Those are the days when you must remind yourself why you started. You must believe that every small step, every small improvement is leading you somewhere beautiful, even if you cannot see it yet. Patience is also a form of respect. Respect for your own journey. Respect for the fact that true change takes time. Respect for the fact that you're not a machine, you're a living, breathing human being, learning and growing with every experience. Rushing yourself only leads to frustration, as allowing yourself the time to grow leads to strength. That's unshakable. The path of self-improvement isn't a race. It's a commitment. It's a quiet promise you make to yourself that you will not give up, that you will not rush, that you will keep going no matter how long it takes. And when you finally look back, you'll see that the slow days, the heavy days, the patient days, they were the ones that built you the most. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to keep showing up, to keep trying, to keep believing, even when the results are invisible, even when the world doesn't notice, even when you feel like you're moving through fog. Because growth is happening in the unseen places. Strength is building in the silent moments. And patience is the quiet force making all of it possible. There's a beautiful kind of courage in never giving up on yourself. In a world that labels, judges, and gives up on others, choosing to keep believing in your own growth is a quiet act of rebellion. It's standing up for yourself when no one else does. It's choosing hope over doubt, strength over fear, progress over perfection. The journey of focusing on your weaknesses and improving them will not always be glamorous. It'll be filled with moments of failure, moments of self-doubt, and moments where quitting feels easier than continuing. But you must not give up on yourself. You will fall, that's guaranteed. You'll try and sometimes fail. You'll work hard and sometimes see little result. But none of these moments define your worth. Falling isn't the opposite of success. Falling is part of success. Every time you stumble and get back up, you're building strength that no easy victory could ever give you. The ones who keep rising after every fall are the ones who reach heights others can only dream of. It's easy to believe in yourself when everything is going right, when life flows smoothly, when results come quickly, when people are cheering for you. Believing in yourself feels natural then. But the real test comes when you're standing alone, with no applause, with no visible progress, with nothing but your own tired heart to carry you forward. That's when true self-belief is born. That's when you prove to yourself that you're not just chasing success, you're chasing growth. You're committed to becoming better, even if no one else sees it yet. Giving up might feel tempting, especially when you're tired, especially when your weakness feels bigger than your strength. But giving up only guarantees that you'll stay where you are. Every small step you take, even the ones that feel too tiny to matter, are pushing you closer to the person you're meant to become. Your progress might be slow, your journey might be messy, but your commitment to yourself is powerful beyond words. There's something deeply beautiful about a person who refuses to give up on themselves. They carry a different kind of light, a light built through battles nobody saw, a light made strong through silent victories nobody celebrated. That light isn't loud, it shines from within, even on the darkest days. And it inspires everyone who sees it, even when you don't realize it. You deserve to fight for yourself. You deserve to be patient with yourself. You deserve to grow beyond the limits you once believed you had. Improvement isn't about proving to others that you're good enough. It's about reminding yourself that you've always been worthy. Worthy of the effort, worthy of the struggle, worthy of the transformation. When you refuse to give up on yourself, you're teaching your heart to be resilient. You're building a foundation inside you that no failure, no criticism, no disappointment can break. You're showing yourself that strength isn't measured by how few times you fall, but by how many times you choose to stand up again. So hold on. Keep trying. Keep believing. Even when it feels hard, even when the voice inside you whispers that maybe you're not strong enough, you are stronger than you know. You're braver than you believe. And every day you choose not to give up on yourself, you're becoming living proof that growth isn't about being perfect. Growth is about being relentless, about loving yourself enough to keep going no matter how long it takes, no matter how many times you fall, no matter how heavy the journey feels.